Rahimovic in the building, and welcome to the Rondo. I'm joined by Tom Bogert, MLS Insider representative. How you doing today, brother?
What's up? I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm good, man. I'm also joined by Tom Hindle, Goal.com's writer. Listen, man, it's always good to have you guys here. You know, Tom Squared. We love it. We got an exciting episode ahead, so let's get into it. First thing that we're going to talk about is obviously Americans abroad. It has been a massive week for Americans abroad with Weston McKennie and Pulisic both scoring in the Champions League. Let me get your guys' thoughts on their form in the Champions League with Weston, you know, obviously getting his spot back in the lineup after, you know, a huge summer where he was rumored to go to different clubs. The new manager, Thiago Motta, apparently didn't want him into the squad. And now, look, he's back again in that cycle of, you know, going from not being in the Juve's plans to back in the 11. So how you guys feeling about that?
Well, it's got to be incredibly frustrating for the guy because he's clearly quite good at football and he's brought in, he's brought out. I mean, maybe piecing it all together now, he wasn't fit, he wasn't ready for the season, but he's been brought in. And like you said a few weeks ago, he was given his chance and he's made the most of it. You know, it's a nice finish for, was that the first goal or the second goal? I think the second goal in that win for Juve against PSV.
Yes, I think it was.
And then, I think turns in a pretty good performance against Napoli as well. So, I mean, it's got to be frustrating, but he's doing his thing again. So, honestly, all the best to him for that.
Yeah, his perseverance is what impresses me the most. And going back through the summer of reporting on Weston McKennie's situation, there was contract talks the end of last season. They didn't go well, got nowhere. And so it was 100% it seemed that he was going to leave this summer. He was in talks with Aston Villa as part of the swap with Douglas Luiz. FC Cincinnati tried for months to bring him in. They had executives go out to Italy to meet with Weston, to hang out with him, spend time with him. Weston visited FC Cincinnati's training ground on an off day with the national team before the Copa America. He was with their owners. They were pushing really hard to get that deal over the line. It didn't get done, and the game of musical chairs was happening. And it was like, all right, where's he going to go? What's going to happen? And then the big U-turn comes. He signs a new contract. He gets back in the team, gets back into training. The Juventus social media are putting him in videos again. And then all of a sudden he's starting and scoring. It's incredible. Doesn't matter how many managers say they don't want him. He always finds his way back.
I think it's super honestly frustrating for Weston in general, just going into the summer every single year, expecting to not be a part of a squad, having a bunch of transfer rumors, obviously working your way back into the squad. Because listen, Weston's the type of guy, you could play him anywhere on the pitch, right? Right wing back, center midfielder. He's going to do a job for you. So obviously in every club in the world, he could kind of have a position that he could work out, whether it's coming off the bench or coming into the 11, obviously with him scoring a goal as well. So hopefully he could keep up that form. And let's talk about Pulisic as well, because wow, man, he's in the form of his life. Honestly, that game against Inter Milan, that goal was incredible. Taking it from the left-hand side, dribbling past the center back, muscling his way through, and a great finish as well.
That burst of speed there, the combination of the pace, intelligence, technique, power, everything else, like that in a nutshell is the top form of Christian Pulisic. Like he had no business scoring. He had no business getting through to even getting a shot on target. Like that came out of absolutely nothing. That is a special, special moment from a really great player. And it's been awesome to see him at Milan where he gets to play week in, week out. He's earning, obviously, all the starts. He's earning all of the minutes, and he's earning all of the responsibility. But getting to watch him play game in, game out, knowing that, the manager's got my back, the club's got my back. I'm the guy here, and I need to take on that responsibility to have us pick up points. And, that kind of moment, embodied that.
Yeah, it's crazy with Pulisic, though, because a lot of the conversation has been about, confidence and him maybe not being the... Because it was the Landon Donovan comparison for a bit, wasn't it? It was he's not the guy who's going to be screaming at you in the locker room, and maybe he needs sort of an arm around his shoulder to become that better player and a bit more backing. And he's clearly had that at Milan now, I suppose, under two different managers. But he's in the process of figuring it out. He's showing that he can be world class. And Chelsea now look really stupid, which is my favorite part in all of this.
I have a question for both of you guys, actually. One, do you guys think Christian Pulisic is world class? And two, would he start in the current Chelsea team today?
World class. I mean, I guess I've just said it. So, I mean, don't have a leg to stand on. I think if not world class, he's right about on the fringe of it. And give me another season of this level, then yes. Does he start in that Chelsea team? You'd bloody hope so. Yeah, I guess.
I think so too. What you think about, Tom?
I think so, yeah. And world class, he's he's one of the best wingers in Serie A last year. He's been the best player from Milan this season. You would call Rafael Leao world class, yeah?
Yeah.
You have to say so for Pulisic.
Yeah, I feel so too. I think I think the problem with Leao is just inconsistency, man.
Yeah.
And honestly, Christian has proven to be consistent. I think it's 5 games straight with goal contributions in all those matches, and that's the type of form you want him to keep on continuing into the next international break, which is crazy that it's going to be coming up in the next 2 weeks. I
Bro.
feel like we literally just came off the New Zealand and Canada friendlies.
Did the US get a new manager or something? Did
I
something
think they
happen?
did. I think they actually did.
All right,
Might
crazy.
be-
Wait, and not another interim manager? We don't need to do that. We don't need another interim manager. We have a real manager,
We have a real
full-time
manager
I
manager.
know,
this time.
That's fun.
And apparently he's quite good as well.
Apparently.
That's what the streets are saying.
Apparently, yeah, streets are saying that
Yeah.
indeed. Talking about the UEFA Champions League as well, we had some big clubs obviously get some wins, but Real Madrid just don't look that cohesive. Obviously, that win against Stuttgart, they're able to, score some goals as well, but they just don't look that impressive. What is not clicking for them?
So it's really strange, and obviously, as part of my job, I do a lot of like American soccer coverage, but then also quite a bit of European stuff as well. And I watch Real Madrid a lot. I don't know why I say that with resentment. It's actually quite a good thing
Yeah,
to
it's
do,
a good thing.
like for a job. But
Oh,
anyway,
you have to watch Mbappe and Vinny for a job.
dude,
That's terrible.
It sucks, bro. But anyway, I think kind of the point with Madrid is that they've got so many great players: Vinny, Mbappe, Bellingham, Rodrigo. But they're a bunch of sort of like virtuosic, like individuals. They're all amazing dribblers, amazing footballers, but they don't seem to want to play together. And that's like really, really strange. And like the comparison I think of is one of the teams that I remember watching when I was in high school was Barcelona, Messi, Suarez, Neymar, right? And they would pass and move, pass and move, pass and move. And they'd know every year they'd score 40 goals and get 20 assists. It didn't matter how it would come because they just know. Madrid don't. It's just like Vinny's like, okay, I'm going to go dribble 3 players and then pass when I have to. Mbappe's like, I'm going to go and dribble 3 players and shoot when I want to. Bellingham's like, I'm going to dribble 5 players and then swear at the referee and hope that he doesn't get mad. Like, but joking aside, it's not quite clicking yet. And honestly, I mean, look, they're still winning games, bro.
Yeah, I mean, they had a great performance this past weekend. They
yeah.
absolutely destroyed. Vinny came on, scored a great goal. Mbappe assisted him. So it looks like they're starting to get a little bit better. And at the same time, things in football, they take time for you to mesh and gel. And I think even Jude is, getting adjusted to having more of a withdrawn role in
Yeah.
the squad. He doesn't have to be relied on to score so many goals last year. So I think it's just going to take some time.
Yeah, I mean, I have no doubts about this. Like, whatever they are right now, it's fine. Like, they need to be at their best come business end of the season, come the knockouts for the Champions League, come, the run-in for the title race. Like, they're picking up points now. Yes, it looks a little frustrating. Yes, it's a little disjointed. Sometimes it feels like really, really tough. And like you said, a collection of individuals rather than but these players are all world class. We'll go back to use that term again. And they're all intelligent. Like little things like Vinny and Mbappe, they like to operate similar areas. They like to do similar things. So it's gonna take a little bit of time to mesh to figure out, exactly how I'm gonna play off you and how we're gonna combine and how we're gonna go in. Same thing Rodrigo, right? Like, so for me, I'm not worried about Madrid at all. And like clockwork, every single year they're gonna be Champions League favorites. Like, it doesn't matter what they look like, right? It doesn't even matter if they're playing like this in the knockout rounds. They're getting through because that's just what they do.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? It's like all entirely mentality. Like, how often do you watch a football match with Real Madrid and go, they haven't played particularly well here,
Yeah.
but they've won it 5-1?
5-1 So it's like,
All
that's the
time.
expectations,
All
though.
the time.
Yeah.
It is so frustrating. They're a machine, bro.
They're
Bro,
a machine.
Hosselu last year, he of Stoke rejection comes on twice against Bayern Munich,
Insane,
Champions
man.
League final, whatever. We've been there. We can recount every detail. But yeah, look, for me, football nerd, frustrated. Let's put it that way.
And how you guys liking this new Champions League format?
Hate it.
I actually like it. I like it, man.
You like it?
I like it. I
Go
do.
on, I'll let the new boys spit.
I know that this is I think controversial take, but I love the table aspect of it. You're not gonna get end of the maybe a couple teams will have they're either eliminated or they're either top 8 confirmed by their last couple games, but there won't be that end of the group stage like, oh, Milan, they got 15 points again and now they're going into their last game. Like, all these games are I guess more meaningful. There's always stakes for everything. And like I think it just makes sense switching to this. Like, I know that it's like getting the heritage, the everything that we're used to, the history. I'm open to the change.
No, I see what you mean. I think clearly towards the end of the group stage, I get that. Sometimes you get to the last week, you're like, why am I doing this?
Sorry, one thing, I don't like Champions League football on Thursdays.
Oh, can't
Thursdays
stand
is
that.
for Europa
Can't
League.
stand that.
I can't get used to
Well,
that. That's when
Thursdays-
you've gotten too far.
Thursdays should be called days off, by the way. But no, one thing I will say is that part of the point of this, right, was to have like your big teams play early, like City into Liverpool, Madrid next week or in a couple of weeks. The thing is, if you look at the schedule with so many games, those games don't matter. Like City and Inter were very comfortable with a draw. Arsenal and Atalanta, Gasperini, the Atalanta manager, who was a brilliant gaffer, said after the game, like, yeah, we're happy with the draw. We outplayed Arsenal, but we're happy with the draw because they want to finish top 8. We want to finish in that like 9 through 24 spot. So, like, if your goal was to have like Anfield bumping for Madrid, Liverpool, I mean, it probably will be, let's hope. But it doesn't matter. Teams, both of them will walk away with a draw probably from that and feel happy about it. And it's like, then what's the point, bro?
Of course, and obviously with the addition of games, you're gonna also see more goals being scored. And obviously Ronaldo and Messi, they basically have carried the torch in terms of having so many goals scored in the Champions League additions. But now we're seeing more games being played and more goals being scored. Do you guys think their records are gonna look a little bit more human now that there's more games involved and players have more opportunity to score more goals?
Bro, I cannot wait for the Messi asterisk. Like the asterisk next to his goal scoring record. But no, actually, that's a fair point. I hadn't thought about it that way. I think, sure, I mean, more games to score goals. Maybe Mbappe feels a little bit better about, or, I mean, let's be real, Haaland probably
Haaland.
feels a little bit better about trying to hunt down those records now.
Mhm.
But no, that's a fair point. I hadn't thought about it. But, I mean, why not see Messi and Ronaldo's records be broken just so in like 30 years we can be like, yeah, those are the real ones, while all the like the little kids
Yeah,
on TikTok go like,
this is the real format.
yeah,
This is the real
Yeah,
format.
we remember there was group stage. Same with the
Yeah.
people before us were saying, yeah, you'd only used to qualify for this if you won your league. It was a Cup Winners' Cup. So.
You know, the rivalries are kind of forming with MLS. A lot of people saw that viral video this weekend of Inter Miami coming to
Sick.
Yankee Stadium under the bridge and a bunch of NYCFC fans just kind of hounding them. In MLS, are we starting to see rivals form and are we starting to develop a bigger fan base?
I'm gonna make fun of NYCFC in a second. So like that was really cool. That was organic. There was a really cool video of the supporters were chanting and partying like under the subway, like right outside Yankee Stadium. Like that looked really cool. Like that was authentic. I love that. They did a tifo of making
bro.
fun of Miami. Don't be plastic or whatever. This is an
Owned by
offshoot of
City.
City Football Group playing in a baseball stadium in Major League Soccer that this club has been around for 8 years, 9 years. I maybe wouldn't be doing the plastic job. I would find a different angle.
For sure.
It was a little bit easy for people to be like the Spider-Man meme. Like that's you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true. It's like I texted a friend. I was like, City Football Group equals protagonist?
Yeah.
Question mark. And
Authentic.
yeah, authentic, like football heritage. Am I right? But
Insane.
look, here's part of the problem, right? And this will always be a thing with MLS. And I don't know if the MLS Insider is allowed to say this.
Yeah.
But when you haven't been around for so long, you kind of got to do what you can. And dude, if that means the rest of the world is going to take the piss out of you, then kind of like so be it.
Where you at with this one? I mean,
You know what? I really liked the fan interaction, you know, with Inter Miami players. I think that felt very authentic indeed. But like for sure, like the tifo or whatever they posted kind of just felt like the coffee calling the kettle black. Like literally, like you're owned by City Football Group, and we all know like playing in Yankee Stadium, for example, is just not ideal for you to develop a fan base. Like if you go to a midweek match at New York City FC, it's literally empty. Like I went to go watch them play against Philadelphia Union, even though they
Yeah.
lost 5-1, it was kind of like it didn't matter. Like no one was there anyway. So out of sight, out of mind. I felt like everybody at the game was just focused on, you know, Messi coming. And I think that's my biggest worry about the league is like Messi only has so long in this league. So what is the future of the league and what's the future of all these matches post Messi?
100%.
Fandom, rivalry, like that's how it's got to start, you know? And talk to us in however many years.
100.
Yeah,
For sure. And obviously we saw a big rivalry this weekend with Manchester City and Arsenal. Do you think American soccer will ever see a rivalry that great within MLS? And if so, how long until we see a rivalry like that?
Yeah, I mean, what I would say, and again, I'm gonna sound like a homer talking about MLS, but like El Tráfico, LA Galaxy, LAFC, that's super organic. It's obviously super new. Like they don't have the same history as other rivalries that have been around for centuries. But those atmospheres are incredible. Like all of that is organic. Seattle, Portland, that's organic. It's really
hate
awesome.
each other as
What is
well.
that? Cascadia Cup?
Yeah. It's awesome. A friend of mine is doing a trying to do like a rivalry thing, trying to figure out what teams like what. So Cascadia, it's not just Portland and Seattle. Like Vancouver is technically part of that too. And then like the guy, he was showing me some of the polls that came back to him, and it's like nobody said that the Vancouver Whitecaps are our rival.
It's just a sad like how some teams in MLS just become so irrelevant just because of their markets.
Well, do you know?
Big problem.
Do you know what it is though? Part of it in the UK and in England. I mean, without a whole bloody history lesson, but every town had a team like 100 years ago, all the way up through till now, right? So like within the northwest of England, where you have Liverpool, United, Everton, City, you've got so many other little teams in the Championship, League
Preston,
One, yeah, whatever. Oh, go on, geography
Hey,
lesson.
listen, I know my stuff, man. I've been to England. Yo,
Midlands lad.
listen, I know my clubs. I know my clubs.
But my point is that like geographical and historical rivalries develop. There is, and another geography lesson, a lot of miles between Portland, Seattle, and Vancouver, right?
Absolutely.
And look, sometimes those rivalries have to develop from on-field drama. Sometimes they need a little bit of help from marketing and clubs and that kind of thing. I don't have that much of a problem with that. El Trafico is electric.
Yes.
And I knew when I moved to this country, let's make it about me, I knew that Portland and Seattle hated each other, and I didn't care about American soccer. So like there's enough of a thing to it so that it is growing, but yeah, it's going to take some
I
time.
think at that point, it just kind of is a time thing, right?
Yeah.
Because
Mm.
I think we talk about this about American soccer culture and that unfortunately we don't have a team that your grandfather has passed down to you. You don't become
That's true.
a Liverpool fan. Like, for example, Tom being from the UK, like you probably had a family member that was a Liverpool fan or somebody.
Bro, I
Tranmere Rovers, bro. Like what happened here?
I learned how to say Steven Gerrard and Michael Owen before like hello, how are you?
Exactly.
Like-
So you're born with it in your blood, basically. Whereas an American soccer fan, we're starting to see new fans every day, man.
Look, and even just anecdotally as well. So you're talking about that, like with your family. There was, there's 10 clubs that have been around since like 96 or whatever, right? Like that's one generation.
Yeah.
So
that's
there
true.
is only like a third of the league that has somebody who could say, I went to games as a kid and now I'm bringing my children to these games and I'm passing down these stories.
Yeah.
Like, and that's a third of the league. That's not all 30 teams. Like we have another team coming in January in San Diego. So it's not even just that the league is new itself. It's even the teams with the most air quote history. That's still just one generation. Like these are like LA Galaxy fans. If you were there in '96, you're mostly just kind of having kids that are coming up with you now, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, that's true.
It's crazy, man.
I mean, but it is going to be quite a good day when you ask someone what MLS club they support.
And they actually have an answer.
Right, and they say, I'm a Galaxy fan because my mum was, or because my dad was. Like, that's cool, that's the point.
All right, so now we're going to play a nice little game here we like to call Guess the Player from Their Boots. So we're going to have Tom versus Tom here. They're going to say a buzzword to answer. You guys have 5 rounds, have to guess which player it is based on the boots that they're wearing. You guys ready for this?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's get it.
Tranmere Rovers.
Okay.
Uh,
Hindle's first. Who's this?
That's R9, isn't it?
Ding, ding, ding. You got that correct. Yes. So we got some numbers on the
well
board
done.
for Mr. Hindle.
well done. I'm gonna get cooked here.
All right, next one.
Buzz. Tranmere Rovers. Wayne Rooney.
Wayne Rooney. That's
That
the
was it.
correct answer. Yeah.
Do you
it
see the
is.
thickness in the legs there?
Come on, you see them calves? Only one guy has those calves.
That is old Rooney. That is not rising Rooney.
Oh my God. Did you guys see Big Rooney score a nice free kick a couple weeks ago in a friendly?
Bro.
I call him Big Rooney now. Big Rooney.
Every
Big Rooney.
new video, it's with shirt size is going up one.
Bro,
It's
you know
like,
what's crazy? Wayne Rooney's younger than Cristiano Ronaldo.
It's nuts. It's
Crazy,
nuts,
isn't it?
dude. It's nuts.
All right, next one.
I actually
Oh.
can't see that.
Metro Stars.
Okay.
Zidane.
Yes, sir. You got that.
Look at those big shin guards, man. That is class.
Come on now. All right, we're moving
He
on
said
to
he was going to get cooked.
we're gonna move on to last but not least. Who is that?
Oh, no idea right now.
You guys gotta know this.
Oh, whoa.
Guys, it's Skechers
Oh,
boots.
Stockport County, Harry Kane.
Yes, sir. Come on
It's
now.
Skechers.
You
God
got
damn
it. It's Skechers.
God damn
We're gonna have a bonus round though. We're gonna have a bonus round.
So we at 2-2 now?
It's at 2-2 right now. This is for all
I'm
the
gonna get a
marbles.
lawyer on the phone here.
All the marbles are right here.
Go
We
on.
got the last photo. Bring it up right now.
Oh,
Liverpool
Metro
FC.
Metro Stars.
Oh, he said Liverpool FC. Who is it, Tom?
I've actually got no.
Three, 2, 1.
Yaya Toure.
Metro
Wrong.
Stars. Clarence Seedorf.
Wrong.
Oy.
Wow. I'm going to give you guys one more attempt each.
Oh.
I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a hint here. This player went from Barcelona to New York Red Bulls.
Liverpool. Thierry Henry.
Yes, sir. Ding, 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 ding.
Since when did Henry wear Puma boots?
He did. You remember he went from
Yeah,
Reebok to Puma after? You never knew that? Do you remember during COVID, Puma were doing those cool little videos with like Balotelli and Thierry Henry talking to each other and stuff?
True.
Come on,
I've been trying to
guys.
scrub the Puma references from my brain after they did the SpongeBob and Patrick cleats, the pink and
Yeah,
the
those
yellow.
ones.
Oh,
Those
A
ones.
keeper for my
I
college
liked when they
team
did
had
the
it,
blue
I
and
was-
pink ones
I
back in
hate
the
it. I
day.
hate you for this. And like he has a personality, of course. I was like, of course you got this. I hate you.
All right, now moving on. We're going to play a nice game that we like to call here called Foul or Play On. A lot of people have seen it on our recent episodes. But number one, Pulisic has started the season with 7 goals and assists in all competitions. Foul or Play On. Pulisic is currently the most informed winger in the world right now.
Foul. I'll go with Michael Elise.
Okay. All right. And why?
Bayern's better than Milan. That's a good start, but he has more goal contributions in less minutes.
Okay.
And like I think that he's got, again, like I know that he's younger, so he has like a lesser track record. And maybe it was how awesome he was at the Olympics, but for me, I'm going with Elise.
I think Olise's a baller. What do you think, Mr. Hindle?
As much as I'd like to be contrarian, I honestly think just about Play On. I think he's in the form of his life. I think he's doing the kind of individual stuff that he hasn't shown really ever. I think Luis Diaz runs him pretty close at the moment. He's been absolutely electric for Liverpool, but Pulley just about playing.
I think for Christian, the reason why I separate him from an Olise, for example, is just from the perspective of he has a lot more to carry on his team. Like, don't get me
Fair.
wrong. Like, obviously, Bayern Munich have, Musiala, Harry Kane, people to kind of, some of the best players in the world. Whereas at Milan, it's like, you got Tammy Abraham, who's just come in on loan from Roma, still trying to figure his way out, his way back into the football since his injury.
Freudian slip.
Yeah. Rafael Leao as well, who's been, consistent, inconsistent. So I think Christian just has more weight on him. And that's why I kind of weigh his goals and assists, because I feel like they just matter a lot more. I feel like for Olise getting 2 assists and a
That's
win
fair.
against Werder
Yeah.
Bremen, you're
Fair.
scoring 7 goals. It's,
We did also forget Lamine Yamal.
Oh my God.
Can't forget about
Fair
him.
point.
Jesus, actually scratch that. He might. We might have to
Homer
get it.
credibility.
Yeah.
Lamine is
I think
my
Lamine.
goat.
Yeah, I think Lamine got it. I think Lamine got it. That outside of the boot assist
Bro,
to
I was just
Rafinha.
about to say-
Jeez,
This is a child, bro. Are you kidding me?
bro, 17 years
But
old.
also, Barca, please bench him. It's fine. When you're up 3-0 in the second half, give him a rest, please.
I think the problem with Barca, they just don't have the depth.
I don't care. Find a
Pull another
Lamassia
lever.
child.
Pull another
Yeah,
lever.
honestly, find a child from La Masia. They exist.
True.
Just give the kid half an hour,
Yes,
please.
man. You need to rest him, man, because these 17-year-olds. We saw what happened with Ansu Fati, for example. These
4
guys-
meniscus issues.
Come
and
on now,
everything.
these kids playing so many games. There's so many competitions going on,
Right.
and playing all these
Nonstop.
games at 17 years old, you're definitely feeling it. Even
You
if the
can-
adrenaline is taking you through.
True. You can read about that on goal.com.
For sure, man. All right, foul or play on. We need MLS VAR explanations in all of world football. Run the clip.
After review, there are 2 players in an offside position from RSL. However, they do not impact goalkeeper. Therefore, final decision is goal.
It is electric. We need this
It's
as
so
much as
good.
possible. I love what Tori Panza did there with she hit that. However, because this happened, there's a viral moment earlier in the season. There was a referee that was announcing the in-game decision, and he seemed to indicate the same thing, like they were in offsides. However, and he kind of gave come on, relax, and he put his hand up, and so she was like, I need to build off that. I need to one up that. So she came in with this. I loved it. That's great. I want more of that.
I think it's kind of cool. I think this kind of reminds me of American sports. In NFL,
Yeah.
when they'll make like kind of an announcement in the stadium, kind of brings that kind of feel
This
to
this has more
football.
personality though. There has never been an NFL VAR announcement or an NBA one. Nothing that touches this.
So-
This is
For
perfect.
sure.
So for me, yes, though, like play on, but that's the dramatic thing. If that was my team, I'd lose my shit. So I do not need the kind of drama. Like, referees, don't make it about you with the hand signals and all of that.
It's fair.
Just like
in MLS Cup, this would be a little bit different.
Yes.
But this was this was the weekend. But there was just midweek games. There's a billion games. So I love this when I'm trying to watch 13 games.
I love that, man. All right, last but not least, Antonee Robinson has started the season on fire for Fulham, notching 2 assists already to go along with some stellar defensive performances. Foul or play on. Antonee Robinson is the best left back in the Premier League.
foul, but only just. Like, foul, but if that had happened against my team, I would have been furious that the referees called a foul.
Absolutely.
Does that make sense? Antonee Robinson has been fantastic recently. He's been really good over the past year. I think he had the most interceptions in Europe. Last season, he's brought assists into his game. We knew he was rapid. He's started to look a bit better on the ball. He's been much better for the national team as well. But for me, I think Andy Robertson, when he's fit, is just that much better.
So I would agree with that in terms of legacy, in terms of long term. Right now, I'm saying play on.
Okay.
And part of that too is that Gvardiol hasn't played left back much like he did against. He did in the last game against Arsenal. And like it depends on if you want to like a overlapping wing back. There's nobody better than Antonee Robinson right now in the Premier League, which is like. When I was preparing for this and like I saw a question, I was like, give me a break, dude. Like, dude, are we really gonna force this like national team conversation? And then I was like, wait a minute, like this might be like not only is it a good question, like I think he is. I was like, I went from like dismissive, this is stupid, like come on, like if he wasn't American, would we be doing this? And I was like, yeah, I think we would.
I think he's a great player. Listen, like he's improved his final ball so much. I think once he learned that, listen, like crossing it low, those low driven crosses to the 6. He's added that to his game, the energy. He's always had the energy. He's always had the speed. I think what was really costing him, even on the national team at the beginning, just was that final ball, man. Just finding someone in the box, picking up your head. But I think he's definitely elevated his levels, playing with, Emile Smith-Rowe on the left-hand side, combining with him. Also finding Raul Jimenez, who's been scoring a couple goals after, he hasn't been, people said he hasn't been the same since that head injury, but he's back into form now. I think, honestly, Antonee Robinson has a case for being the best left back in the Prem, and it's great for our national team.
Yeah.
His consistency has been incredible. Like, you just kind of go down the list. Like, I think he's played minimum 35 Premier League games each of the last, 4 or 5 seasons. He's one of the first names on the team sheet for the United States every time they play.
Fulham Player of the Year last year. Yeah. And then, you know what? It's also, you feel like with a lot of fullbacks, in terms of the assist numbers and all of that, that if he played with a better team, then he'd get more assists. But, I mean, let's be real. Pop him in Liverpool's team. He's probably picking up a few more assists.
Absolutely.
For example.
For sure, for sure. And, to kind of end the episode, we always like to love to talk about what we're working on for future things. So, Tom, tell us a little bit about what you got going on in the next couple weeks.
Oh, well, I'm getting married in a couple weeks. So,
congratulations.
I'm worrying about all this other stuff. I'm trying to doing my honeymoon planning. It's a little bit of a slower time in terms of transfer news, which is helping with my phone use. It's nice rather than having to take 17 calls in a day. But still working on features like Decision Day, the last day of the regular season is coming up October 19th, I believe. So end of year stuff, award ballots, everything that's coming on mind.
That sounds good, man. What about you, Mr. Hindle?
I'm diving into the lower leagues of United States soccer at the moment, actually. So I've got the normal sort of, Madrid and
I was going to say, every
stuff.
Madrid column? I love that.
Yeah, no,
look at that range.
Yeah, honestly. But USL is always something that's kind of on my mind. I'm looking at one particular club in Florida at the moment.
Shout out Florida.
Okay. And sort of talking to their guys about how they've put a team together from scratch. Like, what is startup football in the United States? And this is a thing that fascinates me, and I will ramble about it, but there is a feature kind of being worked on about that.
All right. I love that, man.
There you go.
Love that.
And what about you, big guy?
Oh, so we got a great interview coming up. CONCACAF Rivals. We got Tajon Buchanan coming onto the show for Studs Up. So that should be a great interview talking about his injury, his recovery, going into the international break. And hopefully, he makes a safe recovery and he's able to, perform for Canada. I know a lot of USMNT fans will not be happy about his return because, Canada has been beating our ass lately, unfortunately. Also, man, just got some great interviews coming up for Studs. We also will be attending the EAFC launch this Thursday. We'll be with some special guests coming on the platform there. So look forward to that. Please let us know, guys, in the comments about, what we think about the U.S. men's national team moving forward, about Pulisic, everything we spoke about on the show. I'm Rahimovic from Studs Up. Tom Bogert, Tom Hindle, we're out.